What is going on, YouTube world and people? My name is Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice. That is my nickname. I appreciate all you guys for watching the channel today. Be sure to smash this like button right now, as it does help these videos get out to the public and the channel to grow. Subscribe to this channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos on the channel weekly, and almost every single day if I can. And turn on post notifications too, so you don't miss a single one of those videos posted, guys. It's only right. Do not get caught lacking in these streets. Alright, roughly about a month or so ago, I did a team preview and record prediction for the Carolina Panthers for the 2019-20 season. And by the way, if you missed out on all those teams, I've broken down all 32 NFL teams' record predictions for 2019-2020. Be sure to check that out, on my channel. I have a whole playlist for all 32 NFL teams as well as college football teams that I have broken down and given record predictions for, okay? Links in the description. But getting back to my point, I had the Panthers going 7-9 in that video. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think I'm going to delete that video because, man, I just feel like I'm flat out wrong. I was selling the Panthers really short, so I figured I need to get on here and revise that pick. So, in my humble opinion, I do think the Carolina Panthers will be a playoff team this year. I'm higher on them now than I was about a month or so ago. I've done my research, I've rethought this, and I thought to myself, I think the Carolina Panthers are going to make the playoffs this year. I actually have them winning the NFC South division, or at least getting a wild card in that division, okay? I think the Panthers will get in either as a division winner or a wild card, okay? I have them going 10-6. And you might ask the question, why did you change your pick? Well, to me, look, in order to have a chance to win a Super Bowl or even get to the playoffs in 2019-2020, you need to have a great quarterback. And Cam Newton, to me, is a top 10 quarterback. I felt that before I made that video, okay? But yeah, Cam Newton, former league MVP, has been to a Super Bowl. He's been putting up numbers for years in the NFL, okay? He, to me, is a top 10 quarterback. And if he's not a top 10 quarterback, he's definitely one of the 12 or 13 best quarterbacks in the NFL, okay? And listen, last year, this team was a 6-2 football team, riding high, and Cam Newton was balling out last year. Cam Newton was an MVP candidate last year. But then what happened to the Panthers last year? Why did the Panthers miss the playoffs last year? Why did the Panthers ultimately go 9-7 after starting 6-2 to start the season, okay? Well, they went to the Pittsburgh Steelers' house and got absolutely blew out and obliterated and annihilated. I mean, the Steelers just flat out beat the Panthers down in that game. And it's initially thought that in that game, Cam Newton injured his shoulder. It was such a bad shoulder injury that Cam Newton played through that he pretty much could not throw the ball pretty much 20 yards down the field last year. He couldn't throw the ball 20 yards down the field at times. He really struggled. His numbers fell off a cliff. And as a result, at the end of the season, the Carolina Panthers were forced to shut down Cam Newton. The team went where Cam went. Okay, so once Cam Newton went down and had that shoulder injury, that team fell apart as well. So the Panthers, after starting 6-2 and Cam Newton getting injured, okay, they never were the same, okay? They were never the same offense, never the same team, okay? But let me tell you, listen, it's been reported that Cam Newton is fully healthy this year, okay? It's reported now that he's fully healed. He had shoulder surgery in the offseason. Cam Newton is good to go, okay? And before Cam Newton got injured, before he injured his shoulder, the guy was putting up MVP type numbers, on pace to have even a better season than the season he had in 2015 when he won league MVP and took the league by storm, went 15-1 and made the Super Bowl after losing to the Denver Broncos in that Super Bowl, okay? Cam Newton, through the first 8 games of the season, threw 15 touchdown passes to only 4 interceptions. That's not counting what he did on the ground as well, guys. He was still running the ball very effectively. The Carolina Panthers this past year, they brought in Norv Turner to be the offensive coordinator for the team. And Cam Newton and Norv Turner immediately clicked. But I really do think one of the most underrated things about this Panthers team is their offensive line. This offensive line, according to Pro Football Focus, last year was one of the 5 most improved groups from a year ago. And they added to that offensive line in the draft and in the offseason, okay, through free agency, okay? This is going to be the best offensive line that Cam Newton has ever had in his career. So they're going to be able to protect him. They're going to be able to block for Cam Newton, okay? And running behind that great offensive line that's very, very underrated is Christian McCaffrey, okay? Christian McCaffrey last year absolutely broke onto the scene. He is one of the 5 best running backs in all of football to me. I do think he will absolutely have another great breakout season. He'll be even better this upcoming year with an improved offensive line. The guy averaged 5 yards per carry last year, and the offensive line is better. It was pretty good last year too. And another thing, I think that the Panthers wide receivers are very underrated as well. I think that DJ Moore is bound for a breakout sophomore season, okay? Curtis Samuel really came on last year. I think one of those 2 players will definitely break out this year. You also have Greg Olsen, who when healthy is one of the 5 best tight ends in all of football. You have Ian Thomas, another very good young ascending tight end who showed some promise last year. Okay, you added Chris Hogan in the offseason. I do think he will definitely help and contribute this year, especially in short yardage situations and on third down. And in the NFL draft in the 7th round, you went and snagged a guy like Terry Godwin out of Georgia. I think that where you got him in the draft was an absolute steal. So this Panthers team is going to be able to score points. They're going to be able to move the football. I think they're one of the most underrated offenses in all of football. And we have not even gotten to the defense yet, guys. The Panthers pride themselves on defense, okay? What they do in the offseason, they added Gerald McCoy to that defensive line that was already very, very good, okay? Gerald McCoy is one of the 5 best defensive tackles in all of football. Pair him with Dante Poe and K'Wan Short. That is a nasty defensive line. You added Bruce Irvin in the offseason too to be an edge rusher for you. And you also drafted a very talented edge rusher out of Florida State and Brian Burns in the 2019 draft. I think he fits in perfectly with what Ron Rivera and this Panthers team loves to do on defense. Brian Burns, a very good athlete who I do think will be able to shine on this defense, okay? This is by far one of the 5 best defensive lines in all of football. They are going to be able to get after the passer, okay? They are going to be able to stop the run. They are going to be able to be physical up front on defense, okay? And to me, the Panthers secondary is very underrated as well. James Bradberry is one of the best cornerbacks in football that no one talks about, guys. That guy is such an underrated player. He's a very solid #1 cornerback. And Dante Jackson, a very talented player out of LSU, really came on last year and showed some promise as a rookie. So I really like the Panthers duo at the cornerback position. And at the safety position, you got Trey Boston. You got Eric Reed. Those are 2 very solid safeties right there. I do think the Panthers could use another defensive back or 2. But again, when you have a great defensive line like the Panthers have, you don't need to have an elite secondary. You just need to be comparable in that area. And they are definitely above average in that regard. And again, guys, I understand you might be skeptical of the Panthers because last year, they fell apart down the stretch so badly. But again, last year, when Cam Newton was injured and barely could throw the ball past 20 yards down the field, this Panthers team was still in games. They were still able to compete in these games, okay? They only lost by 1 point to the Lions. They lost by 3 points to Seattle. They lost a close game at Tampa Bay. They lost to the Browns by 6 points. The Saints, they played the New Orleans Saints tough when Cam Newton was injured and hurt. They lost that game 12-9. The Carolina Panthers last year, if Cam Newton stays healthy, they are in the playoffs, guys. They are competing with the Saints. They are competing with teams in the NFC, and they are in the playoffs last year. Okay, and this team on paper right now is better than it was last year. Now again, one thing I do push back on is I do not like the fact that they lost Devin Funchess. If they still had Devin Funchess, I'd be even more higher on this team. But again, Devin Funchess is now in Indianapolis, okay? This division in itself is flat out going to be a dog fight. I am fully aware of that. The Saints, they obviously are a great team. They were 1 play away last year from getting to a Super Bowl. The Atlanta Falcons, they have a very good team. They got Matty Ice. They have a very good offense. I think the Falcons will potentially maybe even be the best offense in football this year. They returned a ton of players last year who were injured on defense, okay? And I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will surprise a lot of people and win about 6 or 7 games this year. I really do. I think Jameis Winston will ball out this year now that Bruce Arians is his head coach. Bruce Arians is, of course, a quarterback guru, okay? But I think this Panthers team is good enough to win 10 games. I really do. I like their defense. I like the defensive line. I think the secondary is very underrated. I think the offensive line is very underrated. And again, Cam Newton, I think Cam Newton will have his best season yet. I think Cam Newton finally found the right connection for an offensive coordinator. I think that North Turner is doing some really good things with Cam Newton. Okay, Cam Newton, before he got hurt last year, was a MVP caliber player, okay? I think that Christian McCaffrey takes it to an even bigger level this year. I think that Gerald McCoy balls out. I think that DJ Moore, especially the second-year wide receiver, has a breakout season. I think this Panthers team is good enough to win 10 games in 2019-2020. Be sure to comment where you agree with me and where you disagree with me, okay? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right now if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can. A fun fact about me is I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world. I want to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. Kind of like Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp. You get the point. Okay, I want to do sports, television, and radio for a full living once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. So the best thing you guys can do to just help me continue to grow as a young broadcaster is to just share this channel with all your friends, because potentially if this channel really gets somewhere, I want to start my own network, okay? Or potentially if it doesn't, or if I fall a little bit short, I want to go into a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. So the best thing you guys can do to just flat out just help me grow as a broadcaster, help me learn, get other people hip to this channel, just share this channel with all your friends, share this channel on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. Also, be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. And once again, guys, just share this channel with everyone you know. Get everyone hipped and watching these videos. Get my voice out there and heard. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. It's been your boy, Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in today. I really do. Have a God blessed day. Stay motivated, you guys, and I'm out.